Since the last time I used our app, a lot of things have actually changed inside of the app. And it probably doesn't look like it on the dashboard because actually this kind of stayed the same. But we made some improvements. For example, you are actually able to add your personal collection into this app. And of course, it will also show you the estimated value of your entire collection or whatever you have uploaded in here, right in this little area. And we also included an expenses tab, which we are testing out right now. We included some of our expenses, which includes, the total spent. This is probably a very nightmarish tab because I don't think anyone really wants to see how much they spend on Pokemon, especially me. But we have it because to track your expenses means you get a net value for your collection. And that's exactly what we did. So if we go back to our RIPs and let's say we go to Ascended Heroes, there's this new box on the top right and you can see it's negative $88.15 because we will take the value of that expense and subtract it out of the Pokemon set that is linked to. So in this case, we linked some of our Ascended Heroes expenses to Ascended Heroes. And that definitely reduced the total value, the return of investment, ROI right here. So now it's negative. And if you want to see what the cost, the expense was, you don't have to go back to the expenses tab. You could just see it right here in the total cost box. So we had linked $566.95 in the cost to actually buy all these Ascended Heroes products. Now, the total value of the cards that we have pulled and recorded are still here, right here in this box. It says total value. Maybe we'll rename this to expected value or something like that. What we had pulled from Ascended Heroes so far has given us $478.80 cents. Sorry, not 86 cents. 80 cents in price value, the cards. And just to foreshadow, this actually includes some cards that I have not yet shown in a pack opening video because I haven't released that video yet. So this means what you're seeing here is the data that we have for Ascended Heroes. And I don't think I'm going to do any more because it's too expensive to get any more. And I can't find any at MSRP. So what I had found was the hit rate, which is 35.59% or 0.3559 hits per pack. The total hits that I have found is 42, and I had apparently opened 118 packs. That is a lot of packs, but not as much as I had hoped for Ascended Heroes, but whatever. I really don't want to pay over MSRP for it. Not really worth it. And the value per pack. Basically, the real value that I got back for each pack was $4.06. So if each pack costs, let's say MSRP was $4.49 plus tax, maybe it's like $4.80, then I had lost 4 cents per pack, which I guess isn't too bad, but it's certainly not a gain. So if I click the analytics tab here, this is our distribution of the kinds of hits that I found from double rare to even SIR. Yes, I didn't even, release that video where I pulled an SIR, but I did. And you will see which SIR that is when I release it. But I wanted to give you guys this data first because I said I would. I found one SIR, so it's this measly little flat bar right here. And we did find the Mega Attack rare. I think we found 2. Yeah, we found 2. It's here. Ultra rares, we only found 2, which is sad because typically ultra rares are about as high as illustration rares here. We found 12. And Ascended Heroes has not been really good to me. Maybe it has to you, but it's been pretty awful in terms, maybe not in terms of pull rate. Actually, the pull rate is pretty low in comparison to some other sets, but not just the pull rate, but what kind of pulls I find. It's pretty dreary. Now, what about comparing the pack weights themselves and whether or not they had hits? That's where my classic bar chart comes in right here. Currently, the x-axis is arranged by 0.2 grams. So I think I will definitely do the 0.1 grams at least here. So we have 22.30. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Maybe zoom in a little more. That's even better. So we have 22.30 being our lowest range, and there were 3 packs in the 0.30s, and this means it could be 0.31, 0.32, 0.39, something like that. We found 3 of them, and all 3 of them had no hits. For the 0.4s, we had 6 that had no hits and then only 2 that had hits. This is a 1/4 chance of finding a hit in this range so far. And the 0.5s and the 0.6s were the range that I found the most packs. I found a lot of 0.5 gram weights and 0.6 gram weights, and look at this 0.6 gram. This is crazy. This kind of leads me to believe that Ascendant Heroes is weighable to a degree where one certain range just dominates everybody else. Granted, it's not like the hits outran the no hit, but it's pretty close. It's almost 50-50. There's 23 hits here and then 25 no hits here for the 22.60 range. And everything else is everything else right here. 0.80, even though this is the highest range, didn't actually have more hits than not, at least for the time being. I barely found anything here, so this is kind of inconclusive. 0.70, we had a slight advantage where we had 4 hits over 3 no hits. Now let me do the exact. I want to do exact. Here we go. Wow. I don't really know what to make of this at the moment. Actually, no, it definitely looks like about from 0.58 onward, there is a definite advantage in terms of finding hits. Look at this 0.57 though. This 0.57, 7 packs in 0.57 and finding nothing. That's miserable. And then look at 0.56. 0.56, we found 1 hit and then 8 no hits. That's also sad. And then literally everything under 0.57 onward, downward, I should say. Yeah, we're lacking in some hits here, some good distribution. But then everything above 0.57, wow. Look at all those dark bars. And the black bars means the hits, by the way. You could, hopefully you could already tell by the key over here. No hits are gray, and black is hits. I don't really think I need to analyze any further. And then, of course, if we went underneath this bar chart is our table. And this is what I did not show the last time because there was too much to show the last time. So this table actually shows precisely where our hits were, as in the specific hits, the double rares, illustration rares, and so on. What range were those found in? And the weight ranges are right here on the left. And I'm going to group this by 0.1 grams. And here we are. I will start with the SIR because I'm sure you want to know that. Where did I find my SIR? It was here. Go to the left in the 0.6 to 0.7 gram range. I did find 47 packs in total in that range. And I found 1 SIR in it. And strangely enough, I don't know, maybe this is coincidental or on purpose, but the ultra rares that I found also were in 0.6 and 0.7 gram range. I found them in nowhere else so far out of 118 packs. We barely found any ultra rares. I don't know what's up with that. And if you're asking which specific weight the SIR was found in, you'll just have to wait for the video because, I still want people to watch it. But in general, it's in the 0.6 to 0.7 gram range. Oh yeah, even the mega attack rares. Okay, mega attack rare, we found 1 in the 0.6 and 0.7 gram range, but the other one we found in 0.5 and 0.6. So again, still within that really nice bar chart range up here of packs where there were so many hits, 0.58 and onward. Now the next thing is the IRs, which is also a very important range to look at because there are some pretty valuable IRs out there. I think namely one of them is Psyduck. Psyduck is about $80 something. Team Rocket's Mimikyu is also very hyped. And for a good reason, it's actually a pretty cool card. Anything Team Rocket is pretty cool in my opinion. And here's where we found the IRs. It looks like a lot of them were found in 0.7 to 0.8 gram range. It says 25% down here, but we only found 8 packs. So this is going to be a rare range for you to find. Maybe. At least for me it was. But the next most populated range with IRs is the 0.6 to 0.7, 12.8%. And interestingly enough, the 0.4 to 0.5 gram range had 11.1%. That's the next highest range to find IRs, but we only found 9 packs. So also a range where you may not find a lot of them. And then we found a few in the 0.5 to 0.6 gram area, 6.1%. And then of course, double rare. We probably don't really care that much about double rares, so I'm not really going to go over that. So let me go back to my packs and then arrange this based off of total value. The highest valued card that I found here is $82.97. Pretty sure that's the Psyduck. I'm very, very sure that's a Psyduck. If I click into it, what did I log? Yeah, here's Psyduck right here. That is the hit, which is starred with the shiny symbol. And then you'll just have to see everything else that I pulled because that is in the next video.